We're now going to look at the offset and mirror commands, and we're going to utilize them to edit our little control panel plate that we're creating. So you'll notice in the previous videos what we've done is we've changed our rectangles to our little switches. We've got a little dialer here so that we can dial things through, and we've also got a control button here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the offset command to edit our little green plate here, and also the mirror command to mirror our control button so that we have a second control button in this little area here. Now I'm staying in the 5 modifying objects complete drawing. You should be following along with the modifyingobjects.dwg file that you should be saving as you go through each video. Now let's have a look at our little panel here first, which is made up of separate lines. We're going to use the offset command to offset each line, but I'm going to offset the top line first. So I now go up to the Home tab on the ribbon, and again we're in the Modify panel, and the offset command is there. So I click on Offset like so. Now, the first time you use offset in a drawing, you can see it prompts you for this through option. Now I'm deliberately going to use that option first time round and press Enter. So it's now asking me to select the object I want to offset, which is this green line here. So I click on it, and then it prompts me to go through a particular point. I'm going to use that point there. Now can you see the little preview on the left there of the green line? So if I click there now, can you see it's offset this line here, but it's offset it through that endpoint I picked there. Now I'm staying in the offset command. Now I don't want to do that. I'm going to press Enter because I want to do a different offset setting. So I just right click now, repeat offset on the shortcut menu, and it's asking me for an offset distance, which in this case is going to be 0.5. And I'm going to press Enter to confirm that distance. Now the lovely thing about AutoCAD is when you hover to offset and click, it shows you a little preview of where that line is going to offset. So if I zoom in a bit now, can you see I'm hovering either side? I want it on the outside, so I click. And then I come out again, like so, and I'm going to select this line here and come outside and click. This line here, click on it, just pan up a bit there, come down, and you can see the lines appearing like so. And then I want this line here, again on the outside, and I click 0.5 on the outside, like so. I then press Enter to finish, like that. So what I've got there now is a group of lines waiting to be joined together. And we'll look at that in a little while when we start using fillet and chamfer in the next video. Now I need to do the mirror command next. So I'm just going to pan across a little bit, and I'm going to mirror these two circles here to the left to create another control button. Now before we do that, what I'd like you to do is just draw a small vertical line just to the left of the two circles. I don't mind what distance away it is, but be sensible. Don't place it over here, for example. You'll see what I mean in a moment. So I'm just going to click on the line command in the draw panel, and I'm going to place a little vertical line, click, drag vertically down like so using the polar tracking, and click again like that, press Enter to finish. The reason I want that line there is so that I've got a mirror line to use when I go across. Now I don't have to use a mirror line if I don't want to. I can perhaps use that quadrant on the left hand side of that larger circle. Would that make my life easier? Well, in this case it might, because that line, if I mirror using it, I might get a clash there with that circle there. It would be much easier to use that quadrant and then have the circles touching the outer circle. So you don't have to use that line at all. Let's just click on that line and we'll right click and we'll erase that. So I've erased that line there. Let's zoom in on the circles, pan down a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the two circles first using the click there on the crosshair. Just click and select the two circles. Now mirror is not on the shortcut menu, so up to the Modify panel on the Home tab on the ribbon and select Mirror. Now it's prompting me for the first point of my mirror line. I go down here to my object snaps, click on the flyout and select Quadrant. Now that means that the quadrant snaps will appear on the circles when I hover over them. So I just click on the flyout arrow to close the menu. There's my quadrant there. So that's my first point of my mirror line. So if I click and then either go vertically upwards or downwards using my polar tracking, can you see as long as I keep that vertically tracked using the polar tracking, it's exactly next to it. Don't do this, because you'll get it crossing like that. So if I come up vertically and click there, that's the second point of my mirror line. Do I want to erase the source objects? No, I don't. So there's my two buttons, but they're right next to each other. So all I've got to do now is select this circle and this circle, right click, using the shortcut menu, select move. Base point will be the center of this circle. I click and go to the left. Using the polar tracking, keep it polar tracked and type in 0.5. Press enter and my button has moved along by 0.5 to the left. If I zoom out now, you can see those two buttons are sitting nicely on my little control plate like so. Now, the last thing I want to show you very briefly is an offset of a polyline like this. So we go back to the offset command here, and the distance I'm going to offset is going to be 0.5. It's remembered that from the last offset command that I did. So I just press enter now to accept the value. I'm going to select the polyline, click on it, and I want to move out to give it an edge. Can you see that? So as I come out and click, it now offsets and gives that plate an edge, making it look much, much more professional in the drawing. So I'm going to press enter to close out the offset command. So that's how you utilize offset and mirror in AutoCAD. Make sure you practice for your AutoCAD Professional Certification exam.